I still remember the sound of my laptop fan humming in frustration, almost like it was mocking me. My screen was filled with half-written drafts, abandoned business ideas, and video outlines labeled final_V4, none of which ever saw the light of day. I was stuck, paralyzed by perfection. Every time I tried to start something, big an online course, a YouTube channel, even a blog post, felt this overwhelming urge to make it flawless. I had ideas, tons of them, but execution, zero. I'd spend hours editing a single paragraph, rewriting the same sentence 5 different ways, only to trash the whole thing and start over. It wasn't laziness, it was fear. Fear that what I made wouldn't be good enough. One night, I met Jason at a local coffee meet in downtown London. A quiet guy in his early 40s, wearing a faded hoodie and worn-out sneakers. You wouldn't guess it from his casual vibe. But Jason was a serial entrepreneur who had built and sold 3 startups in Australia, and now worked as a creative coach in New Zealand. We got talking, and I casually mentioned my struggle to finish things. He smiled, almost as if he'd heard this 100 times before. "Let me tell you something that changed my life," he said. "Finishing something bad is better than starting something great." I squinted. "That sounds like settling," he chuckled. "No, it's about momentum. You can't edit a blank page. You can't improve what doesn't exist. And perfection, it's the enemy of progress." Jason went on to share a study from Stanford that blew my mind. In a creative writing course, students were divided into 2 groups. One group was told to write one perfect story. The other was told to write as many stories as possible. By the end, the high-volume group produced the best stories, not because they were geniuses, but because quantity gave birth to quality. They learned by doing, not by waiting to be perfect. Then he hit me with 3 simple steps. Number 1, finish fast, improve later. One of the most freeing lessons I've learned is this: don't aim for perfection, aim to reach the finish line. So many great ideas die in our minds because we wait for the perfect time, the perfect version, or the perfect feeling to begin. The truth is, none of those things exist. Perfection is an illusion that keeps us stuck. It whispers, "Not yet," every time we're about to take action. But if we keep waiting for perfect, we end up creating nothing at all. That's why your first version, no matter how messy, rough, or unpolished, is infinitely more valuable than a flawless idea that never becomes real. A terrible first draft, a shaky video, a clumsy beginning, they are all signs that you've started, and that's where the real growth begins. Because once something is finished, you can learn from it, edit it, and improve it. You can get feedback, develop momentum, and build confidence. But none of that is possible if the project never leaves your head. So stop trying to be perfect. Just finish, then make it better. Number 2, embrace cringe. One of the hardest but most important things to accept on the path to growth is this: your first attempts will probably make you cringe, and that's perfectly okay. We all want to look polished, sound intelligent, and appear skilled right from the start. But in reality, the beginning is almost always awkward. Whether it's your first video, your first writing piece, your first speech, or your first product, it likely won't meet your own expectations. You might stumble, say the wrong thing, or look back and feel embarrassed. But here's the truth. Cringe is proof that you've grown. If your past work doesn't make you wince a little, it means you haven't moved forward. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master once made a mess. That discomfort you feel when you look at your old work, that's a sign of progress, not failure. So instead of hiding from the cringe, embrace it. Let it be a badge of honor that says, I started. Because most people never do. Most people wait until they feel ready, which often means never starting at all. You can't grow without discomfort, so lean into it. Cringe today, succeed tomorrow. Number 3, celebrate progress, not polishing. One of the biggest mindset shifts that changed everything for me was this: stop obsessing over polishing and start celebrating progress. We often think that success is found in making things perfect, flawless design, smooth delivery, spotless writing. But what truly moves you forward is not perfection, it's completion. Every finished project, no matter how rough or ugly it may seem, is a step closer to mastery. It's a real, visible result of your effort and courage to act. Perfectionism fools us into thinking we need to tweak, edit, and fix endlessly before something is worthy of being seen. But while you're busy polishing, someone else out there is publishing, producing, and improving through real-world feedback. They're growing, you're stuck. Every time you hit done, you build momentum. You prove to yourself that you're capable, and that builds confidence, something no amount of planning or editing can give you. So instead of asking, is this perfect? Ask yourself, is this finished enough to grow from? Start small, finish often. Celebrate every step forward, because at the end of the day, it's not the perfect projects that change your life, it's the ones you complete. I was skeptical, but something about his words stuck. Maybe it was the casual certainty in his voice, or the way he talked about failure like an old friend. That week, I decided to test his theory. I picked one of my abandoned projects, a messy script for a motivational video titled How to Wake Up When Life Knocks You Down. I had rewritten the intro at least 7 times. It wasn't good, but it was there. I took Jason's advice. I set a timer for 3 hours and forced myself to finish it. No editing, no second guessing, just finish. The result? It was ... bad. The pacing was off. My transitions were awkward. My voice cracked halfway through the recording. But when I hit upload and saw it live on YouTube, something shifted. For the first time in months, I felt relief. I finished something. To my surprise, it got 348 views in the first week, mostly from the UK, USA, and a few clicks from Canada. One comment from a viewer in Melbourne said, "This isn't perfect, but it felt real. Thanks for posting it. Real, not perfect." That comment rewired my brain. So I made another video and another. Each time I set a 3-hour timer, forced myself to finish, and refused to edit obsessively. I embraced the cringe. Some videos flopped. Some got decent traction. One of them even hit 10K views. But more than numbers, I was building momentum. A month later, I met Jason again and shared my progress. "Now you're dangerous," he grinned. "You've broken the perfection trap." He told me how his first product, Insignia Personal Finance APOS, riddled with bugs. People hated the UI, but it worked. And because it worked, we had real feedback to improve it. That ugly version led to our first investment. He showed me his YouTube channel, where his first 5 videos were embarrassingly simple. Just him, a webcam, and bad lighting. But one of them was picked up by a parenting group in the US and went viral. Not because it was perfect, but because it was done. Another friend of his from Canada, a fiction writer, published a short story every week for a year. He admitted the first 10 were awful, but by the end, he had built a loyal following and landed a publishing deal. Jason's voice echoed in my head. Done is momentum. Momentum is freedom. Over the next few months, I applied this principle to everything. I launched a small digital product with typos, sent out a weekly newsletter even if it felt rushed, pitched myself to podcasts even though I felt underqualified. Yes, some things were rough, but each badly done project taught me more than any amount of planning ever did. One of my biggest surprises came when a teacher from New Zealand emailed me. She said her students had watched one of my videos and discussed it in a class about growth mindset. That's when I realized something powerful. Finishing isn't just about you. It's about who you serve. The imperfect things you put into the world might be exactly what someone else needs. I started mentoring a few creatives who were stuck just like I had been. I told them what Jason told me. One of them, Ellie from Ireland, had been sitting on a poetry collection for 3 years. I dared her to publish her bad version. She did. And guess what? People loved the raw honesty. The loop finally closed. All those years I chased perfection. I thought I was protecting my reputation. But really, I was protecting my ego. And ego never creates. Only action does. Now, when someone says, "It's not ready yet," I smile and say, "Exactly, that's why you need to finish it." Here's what I've learned and what I want to share with you. Perfection is procrastination in disguise. Done opens doors that perfect never knocks on. Your worst finished work is still ahead of someone's best unfinished idea. You grow through output, not intention. So whatever you're holding on to, the blog, the business, the book, the video, the course, finish it. Let it be bad. Let it be real. Let it breathe. Because somewhere out there, someone doesn't need your perfection. They need your courage to finish. And when you do, you give them permission to start. One last thing life has taught me, something simple but deeply powerful, is this. As human beings, we can never be perfect. From the very first day we start anything, a new habit, a dream, a goal, we are learning. We are growing. We're constantly in the process of improving. There is no magic moment where everything becomes flawless. Life isn't designed that way. Growth is messy, and progress is often slow. But that doesn't mean it's not valuable. Think about it. Even the most successful people in the world, writers, leaders, creators, inventors, they didn't wait until they were perfect to take action. They began when they were uncertain. They started before they were ready. And most importantly, they kept going. In fact, even on the day of judgment, if you believe in such a day, none of us will stand with a completely perfect record. There will always be something more we could have done, something we could have improved. And that's okay. That's what it means to be human. So stop waiting for everything to feel perfect before you start. Stop delaying your ideas, your dreams, your efforts, just because they're not polished yet. Start now. Start small. Start messy. But most importantly, start. And as you move forward, keep improving, one step at a time. Because in the end, life is not about perfection. It's about progress.